Hello, everyone. Welcome to our closing ceremony. We're super excited that you spent your weekend with us. And first of all, a huge congratulations to all the hackers that submitted projects to DubHacks. I know our judges loved looking through all of them, and we're really excited to see what you guys have created. So we're going to be judging our top 3 from each track to determine our DubHacks track finalists. And so I'm going to start off by introing our judges today. Our first judge is Roxy Stimson. She's the Senior Director of Engineering at F5. After working at an IT consulting firm for 4 years, Roxy left and founded her second business, which is an IT consulting firm specializing in enterprise application integration. She's known as an inspirational leader with well-grounded technical skills and a trusted advisor to executives and businesses. She's had extensive experience working and leading global teams. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our closing ceremony. We're super excited that you spent your weekend with us. 2001. Roxy is also a UW alum, so go Huskies. Our next judge is Guy Primus. He's the CEO of Valence Company. He also co-founded the virtual reality company and was the COO of Overbook Entertainment. He's the director of digital media at Starbucks Entertainment, group product marketing manager at Microsoft's MSN Entertainment, vice president of strategy and planning at Blue Flame, and much, much more. And he's also a voting member of Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, which is the Emmys. And our last judge today is Juana Franklin Davis. She's the CEO of Reboot Representation. She's passionate about bringing together a strong collective to tackle the issues of underrepresented women graduating with computer degrees. Juana is a founding member of MasterCard's Leveraging Employees of African Descent Business Resource Group. Prior to joining MasterCard, Juana held IT positions with IBM and the May department stores companies. And fun fact is, Juana was also a final judge at the Microsoft Imagine Cup, where last year, Team Tremor Mission, which was a track winner from DubHacks, was awarded the top prize. So for all the hackers that are presented today, these are your 3 judges you're trying to impress. We're super excited to have them all. The way that our final judging is going to work is we're going to present the top 3 teams from each track. So we'll start off with the Canvas track, where the top 3 teams are Masset, Paint-In, and Spotlight. Next, we'll have the Blueprint track, where we'll have Barrett Smile, Slouch Ai, and Federated Learning as a Service presenting. And finally, we'll have Newsprint with Angles, Interrupted, and Imposter. All right, so Claire's going to stop screen sharing, and our first project to be presenting is Masset. So you guys can go ahead and take the floor. You'll have 2 minutes.
Okay, cool. Let me just get this set up all right. So, all right, can you see my screen? Everything good? Hands up. All right, I will start now. All right, everyone. Hi, my name is Stanley, and this is Masset. A common problem that a lot of businesses are having right now is that they're becoming obsolete compared to household names like Amazon based on 1, price, and 2, due to the lack of technology. So this is really where Masset comes in. We are a community-centric bulk purchasing model where in 3 steps you can buy reduced products. 1, your local shop can list products for a reduced price if a certain quota is reached and bought. 2, a community member can distribute those products in exchange for free products or even money. And lastly, you as a consumer get cheaper products in a community-centric model. If you're interested in Steve here, who wants to be a host for On Ants Listening for 20 Blankets, all these community members can band together, buy those 20 blankets collectively, then head to Steve's house after Corona, obviously, and get it for a reduced price. If you're interested in tech, feel free to look here, but we're gonna go directly into the demo right now. So this is Masset. You can start here. There's a registration page where you can click on interest, add other ones if you'd like to, but we're just gonna sign in. Type in our password and sign in. And here you can see all of our local listings. So we're in San Diego right now. You can see that Elizabeth and John have a pizzeria. They need 55 buy-ins to have this deal exclusively. We can buy in right here. See who the host is. So this person, Stanley, is like nearby. That's me. So I could be the host around the map. I can also be a host as well. So I can be the distributor of that product. So let's say Giovanna wants to distribute these cranberries, right? But Giovanna can only sell it for 99 cents each if 120 are sold. So if I am the host, I can get 20 baskets for free for distributing these products. So see, we can be a host here. I'll move over to right here as well. We can, if we're a store now, let's call ourselves DubHacks local store, call ourselves a custom DubHacks blanket for $9.99 each. And we want to sell, let's say, a minimum of 96 before we can get this deal to be unlocked. I'm just going to copy and paste all the descriptions here. So blankets, we'll call it La Jolla, where I am right now. And if you decide to be a host, you'll get 10 blankets for free and DubHacks swag. Cool. So DubHacks, the store, has listed this custom blanket for sale now. And if someone decides to be a host, they'll get 10 blankets for free and get some free custom swag. This system is really a kind of system in place in which small businesses can band together with local communities to upgrade their kind of sales in times like this. Not only can you kind of host mass buys where people can buy in, but really a lot of technology companies right now, or small businesses rather, don't have the infrastructure to distribute these. Actually, according to Deloitte, advanced small businesses have a 4 times higher growth in revenue than the year prior. And Masset is just one of those few ways for a collaborative new e-commerce platform that really hasn't been seen before. But yeah, that's pretty much Masset. I'm really open to any questions now. Cool.
I'll just quickly jump in. I love the idea. It feels to me like it's a localized Groupon to a certain extent. I'm wondering if you've kind of heard that comparison and what your response would be.
Yeah, I think it almost is like a local Groupon because it's focused specifically on only San Diego. So like, let's say like Aunt Anne, right? Local blanket store. She can't sell to someone in Seattle because there's no distribution center for that. And I think in a sense, it's a Groupon that it's discounted, but it's only discounted if like a certain quota is reached. And that's what Costco really does, is that they're able to sell you lower priced products because they buy in bulk and they expect the consumers to buy in bulk as well. But because one person is buying in bulk on behalf of the store, we can be the distributor for that product in the community.
So I'm going to ask a follow-on question then, because I understand it's a very strong value proposition for small businesses, but have you considered, again, I can imagine, especially in the COVID times, of kind of one person buying bulk and then distributing to his or her or their neighbors from a store like Costco?
Yeah, I think that would be definitely like a very strong way of doing it. I think we can definitely look into that. I think our initial focus on small businesses was more apparent just because they lack the technology. So our value proposition would be more enticing to a small business like Aunt Anne. She's like 82 years old, makes blankets for a store, right? Compare that to Costco. They have software engineers working. They have a platform we can order online already. So the value proposition might not seem as high initially, but I think kind of expanding it out, getting the MVP for small business first, and then expanding might be a better way of doing that kind of for our roadmap.
Well, I don't know about better. I would just say that it's a value proposition more for the consumer versus the retailer.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
A lot of people Costco membership can't make it out. So just food for thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From the user experience standpoint, when somebody says, yes, I'm going to sign in, I want to be part of this, I want to be part of this deal, understanding they can't unlock it until a certain number are reached, how are they notified when the number has been reached that the deal has been unlocked? Yeah,
we can definitely just demo that right now. So we need one more here for like Elizabeth and John's Pizzeria. If it reaches 55, the bar will be basically full and the goal is reached now. You have the prize unlocked. So I think something we can do in the future, which we didn't implement, was like send out an email or even an SMS from the user. And then you can really contact the host right here to be the one that distributes everything. So I think me as a host right here, for example, I will contact all of these people who have bought in and say, okay, between these intervals and these intervals, you can come to my house and pick it up. So I think that would be our kind of initial solution, is have the host be the main distribution kind of center.
I have a quick question for you. This is a great app, and you have any thought to put it on mobile app? Also, how you prevent people from buying it for their own profit and validate that they're not a scammer? You know, like the people on the internet take advantage of people. Security side, so we want to protect the people that we support, right? They're always double-edged sword. So how you deal with that?
Yeah, so I think there's two questions there. One, mobile. I think 100% we'd love to go mobile. I think with like the advent of like, I don't know, Costco and IKEA having their own mobile apps, we can definitely implement this as well. I don't see a reason why not to. But I think the second question, which is a little bit more important, which is on the privacy side, I do believe that kind of displaying an address may not be the best kind of situation, and that maybe we should probably display the address when the full buy-ins have been reached. I think on the other side, we'll only kind of list out kind of these specific cards or these specific items if you're a local native. So let's say that you are from Seattle and kind of want to fake your address. Something we could definitely do in the future is kind of an ID or verification system on behalf of the small businesses and people registering, whether that be kind of just sending an ID or like your rent or something, to see whether or not you're truly a member of San Diego and would be linked to small businesses. That there would be property.
Thank you. And what type of things that you do to help people with disability and need some special support? I'm looking out for the people that really need this service, and this is a great service. The people that are capable can help the one that not able to do that. So how we help those that need to get help from, and think about usability. Do we right now? I don't know if we actually have colorblind support for those that cannot see colors and things like that. So that's something to think about.
Yeah, I actually like have a slide for this I didn't even go over, which is the kind of the design slide. So sort of on the design slide, the way I kind of formulated it was like I did like a kind of low fidelity prototype, and I'm very aware of kind of contrast between kind of text and backgrounds. So that's something I've always had in mind as just a sort of designer kind of building out this product. But I think on the other end, which is like, how can people who don't have like the well-equipped equipment to kind of pick this up be able to buy these products? I think because this kind of model is so community-centric, the host can ultimately determine what they want to do. So let's say the host right here knows that one of the people who want to buy like this chair, right, can't make it to his house. What the host can do is just drop it off for that community member because they have a direct one-to-one connection with each other. Compare that to like Amazon or eBay. You're going to be chatting over a messaging platform.
Hi, Stanley. Thanks so much for answering the judges' questions. I think we need to cut you off right now because we've gone over time. So we want to make sure we have enough time for all of the other participants. But thanks so much, Stanley.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Stanley. So thanks so much to Masset for presenting first. Again, just remind participants to be checking your chat so we're staying within the time limits and respecting everyone's time. Next up for the Canvas track, we have Paint In. Feel free to present.
All right, let me just share my screen. Can everyone see my screen? Give me a thumbs up. Right, awesome. So we've seen during these times, these quarantine times, a rise in popularity in games such as Scribble.io and Among Us. And so for this hackathon, we wanted to combine creativity and collaboration to provide a unique gamified experience that promotes meaningful social interactions with our product or project, Paint In. So to begin with, I'm going to introduce some of the features that we have. These are a couple of the drawings previously produced on the site, and as well as you can set your username here. I'm just going to set it now and create a room. Now, in order to play this game, we require 3 other people to join us. And so, as you can see, my team members are slowly filing in. And when all of us press our ready buttons, then you should see the game proceeding. And so, yeah, you can see the timer takes, the user has about 2 minutes to complete this drawing. My color is, I'm assigned blue and a kind of tan color. And that means I have to draw the hair as well as the face of, I'm not quite certain who this character is. However, during this process, because users are only assigned certain colors, they are forced to collaborate with each other to create the full painting. No one user can do it alone. And we hope in this way that we can promote meaningful social interactions and get users to explore their creative side, but also be able to have fun with each other. Yeah, and that is our project. We are open to any questions.
I love the social interaction. I think it's fantastic. It looks very fun. I'm wondering if you have considered, kind of for next, let's say, additional features, gamifying or leaderboards or badges and that sort of thing.
Of course. So with these games, we have considered a lot of different other variants, as in maybe you don't even see what other people are drawing. You kind of just create your own layer, and at the end, we layer them all together. We also have considered integrated voice chat. As you can see, my team members didn't really want to chime in on this demo. However, we could also create an integrated voice chat in the system so that we don't have to rely on externals. Leaderboards and scoring is another important feature. Oh, and there's confetti when you finish. Yeah, those are all very valid and very useful features that we could add.
Is there a maximum and minimum number of participants or artists?
Currently we have set it to 4, as we feel like 4 is a good number. It's like not having too many chefs in the kitchen. As you can see, it can get quite chaotic at times, but we can certainly consider increasing or decreasing the number depending on like party size and what kind of images we could provide.
And for all of the participants, so you have your friends that want to join, they all get a special link, or how do you make sure only your friends are in your artist room?
So that's a good question. So let me just navigate to. You can see that you can see a host of different rooms that are open, and you can join them. Currently, we don't have a system to make rooms private. However, once rooms are full, you cannot join them anymore, and so you can just send links to each other to join games. But that is definitely a feature we have considered adding.
Well, I love this for sure, and definitely can be used for school. What your plan for really improve this so that the teacher actually can come up with guidance for the student to follow to increase their productivity, their creativity?
That's actually a great use case. We can include a portal where teachers can upload their own images and label them with like the colors that are the primary colors inside the image, and then our system can then just automatically handle like the distribution of colors, and the students can then draw. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Peyton. And for our last project for the Canvas track, we have Spotlight presenting.
So Eric, do you want to share the screen?
Yeah.
Hi, so yes. Hi, we're Team Spotlight, and today we're bringing this project to you. Our inspiration really was that recently in COVID times, small businesses have been suffering a lot. It's estimated that some 60% of businesses you'd consider small in America have actually permanently closed up until September.
Yep. And thus with the goal to bring awareness to this issue, as well as help small businesses and our passion for supporting our communities, and in particular minorities, we decided to create a search engine that allow users to discover local small businesses that we can support.
On our website, we allow users to submit a business, and we also highlight the owners that we support, such as women owners, minorities, veteran owners, and we also give reasons why people should shop local. Yeah.
In addition to this, we also have our search engine that we talked about. So our website allows users to like search for specific like businesses locally that they want to support, and they would just like display nearby locally owned options. So in this example, the search key that we would enter would be O, and the food tag was selected. So our search query results contain all like businesses that contain O in their name and are related to like the tag food. So for each individual business, like if you click on it, like we'd get specific information regarding like the name, how it came up, and then also we have like a Google map mapping of exactly where the business is on like a specific map.
Yeah, and we built our application using Microsoft Azure, MongoDB, MongoDB Atlas, React, Google Cloud, and Spring.
Yeah, and just for the future, we're hoping to add particularly maybe like an online ordering system as well as a point system for businesses that are interested. But yeah, that's Spotlight.
Thank you. Are there any?
One quick question. So on your example for O in food, once you have the list of restaurants, how do you know which category of support they're in, whether they're a minority-owned or woman-owned business?
Yeah, that's actually like functionality that we kind of didn't have enough time to support at the moment yet, but because at the moment we didn't have enough time to research for all of the restaurants and all of our data inside our database, whether they were minority-owned, woman-owned. But yeah.
Yeah, and to chime in with that, we originally had an idea of having actual like particular tags. So when your search query, you can specifically search for like a particular minority, and we would provide those results.
So I might have missed the explanations. Where did you find your base, the foundation database? Do you leverage anything already there or enter them all by hand, manually? The business's data?
So the way we handled that is we initially just selected a small selection of businesses from around the UW campus to serve as our test case. But we actually have a form available where businesses can directly contact the website and enter in information about themselves, and that goes to us, and then from there we can verify the details and we can ask them for more specifics. For example, here you can see that with the businesses we support, we ask them to include a section about their story and essentially how they were founded. Our primary goal is to build a closer connection between these local businesses and their consumers.
I'll just follow up because I had a very similar question. So given that it's gonna take a while to scale, how do you provide utility immediately with just such a small subset of businesses?
Sorry, do you mind repeating your question?
Oh, I'm sorry. How do you provide, given that it's going to take a while to scale and provide, kind of the network effects that you guys are looking for? How do you provide immediate utility for, with just a small subset of services, given that you're kind of entering those manually up front?
Yeah, so for this purposes, we only decided to focus on UW because DubHacks and also just the idea of supporting local businesses is quite a niche idea, and we want to focus primarily on local. So once this takes off, it keeps expanding. We hopefully be able to utilize like maybe social media or even just like online campaigns in order to like further endorse the idea of supporting local through the application.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Spotlight. And thank you to all of the Canvas track products that presented. It was awesome having you. We're gonna be moving on to our next track, which is the Blueprint track, focusing on issues around engineering and technology. And our projects presenting for the Blueprint track are Better Smile, Slouch Ai, and Federated Learning as a Service. So Better Smile, feel free to take the floor.
Hello, everyone. We're the team Barrett Smile. Our project started when one of our dentist friend complained about there's no easy tool for his patient to learn about their existing condition without having to come for a visit. We then did some research and found that about a quarter of Americans actually don't have dental benefits. With further research, we also found that the two biggest barriers to dental care are worrying about the cost and the difficulty of tracking down prices. We then decided to create an accessible platform that brings dental knowledge to everyone, applying machine learning techniques. Our goal is to give you a personalized dental summary with a smile camera scan. So this is our website. Once you sign in, you click the begin your scan button, and then it will ask you to enter your phone number. So this is supposed to send you a link onto your phone, which will turn your phone into a webcam. So for presentation purpose, we change this into a demo link. However, you're supposed to, like this, you're gonna receive a link, and then which will essentially access your webcam. So you can actually move your phone around and then to scan your teeth. You will then follow your instruction. For example, stick your tongue out. And then once we have detected this, you can continue to the next step. And then you're gonna show your teeth, and then later on you will scan through your teeth. We applied the Google Cloud image recognition in our idea, in the sense that, for example, if there's cavity, then we'll use our trained model to try to detect the cavity while you're scanning through your teeth. We're gonna try to, like, for example, to spot those like black holes where you cannot typically see. And then once you finish your scan, you can go check your result. You will have a report of all kinds of things that you should be aware of. We're not the actual doctor, but we'll give you a sense of what you might want to be aware of. So later on, you can have a sense of preparedness when you go find an actual doctor, and to essentially make this technology more accessible using the machine learning method. And you can save your report at the end. And that's about it for the platform.
That was awesome. I actually love that you guys tackled the public health issue, especially we have so many people that need those help. So for those people, how do they, again, privacy and compliance that we have to care about, how do you keep track of these report and the login, how it's associated to the people and things like that? Have you thought about how to take care of that part of the
right? So we'll not actually save the patient data. Neither will we require patient to, I guess, to upload their pre-existing condition if they don't want to, because that's against, I believe, the FERPA compliant with the Privacy Act. However, we're just gonna. So essentially, we have a model, and once you enter your phone number, we'll send you a link, and this is a one-time secure link. And then once you finish it, we'll not save any of your data into our server for later use. It will just we'll do as much as we can to protect your privacy. We'll ask Leo about your personal information as well. Essentially, just a phone number, which we'll use to send a link to enable a web camera. But that's about it.
Thank you.
Really quick question. The quality of the webcam and the availability of high-speed internet for these, the people that don't have healthcare, did you guys do any analysis to see if I'm a little concerned that maybe the quality of the webcam might not be good enough to determine cavities. Like, it might be good at determining plaque, but cavities I'd be a bit concerned about. Just would love your thoughts on that.
I totally agree. This is essentially a trade-off of like, for people who don't have access to this, we're going to more or less prepare provide some sort of prediction to your existing condition. We're not representing the certified doctors, so we cannot say that is cavity or not, but we're just doing as best as we can based on whatever you have. If you have like a better quality webcam, that's great. If you don't have a good one, you can still make this as like some sort of reference. It's just when we're trying to make technology accessible for everyone, we need to more or less to include or to make it more inclusive on those issues.
I think that's a perfect mindset. Really appreciate that.
Also, I think we could also improve the quality of scanning by improve our machine learning model in the future. Like, we could train our model by using using low fidelity picture. So so in reality, like even with the people who has less accessibility to better camera, they should be able to get like a really good preliminary result just for like a warning and see if there's anything worse of concerning.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Ichi.
Guy has my question, so I'm good on questions, guys. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, next up we have Slouch AI.
Hi there, everyone. We developed an application called Slouch AI to address and solve the issue of having bad posture when you're using the computer at your desk. So my teammates and I, we spend a lot of time on the computer working and studying. And we notice after these prolonged periods at our desk, we have really horrendous posture and we have major neck and back pain. And we're not alone in this issue either. And in an article published in the Journal of Cardiovertical Junction Spines, they say that more than 80% of people using computers for more than 4 hours complain about back problems. And I'm sure right now, many of you guys out here also have like bad posture and have maybe some back pain right now too. And so we noticed this issue and we saw that during this time where millions of people are working from home and millions of students are studying from home, that this problem wasn't going to go away. And so we wanted to address this issue and create an application to identify when you have bad posture and notify you of this. I'm going to pass it on to my teammates to talk about the technicalities and how this works.
Hello. So we decided to use Google Cloud's AutoML to create a model that could predict if someone is slouching or not slouching. So we created a novel data set containing images of people slouching and not slouching. And so after we trained our model, we included it in our application to periodically use your camera to capture your sitting position and then alert you if you have to correct your posture. I'll go ahead and pass it off to Sam for our demo.
Yeah, I'm just sharing my screen now. Hopefully that's getting set up good. And then I will start my program and just hide it in the background. So we should hear a car alarm if I enter a slouched position. So let's say I'm on GitHub, I'm starting to look at code, I get in there and we start hearing some alarm sounds. So then it's like, oh, I hear these sounds and I go back to sitting up in a more healthy way. And then we stop seeing the alerts. We could even look at the results of these and how confident the algorithm is that we're sitting up versus slouched. So we can get maybe a real-time result for that after I'm slouched. Yep. And then a real-time result for when I am not. Sweet. That for the future of our project, we would like to collect more data so that we could work in more different lightings with different kinds of people and work with in a more general case environment. And yeah, that was our project.
As soon as you said the name of your project, I think all of us sat up a little bit straighter. So quick question on, with the car alarm, is there a way for the user to be able to change the sound of what their alert will be?
For now, there is not, but that is definitely something that we thought about. Yeah, and I wanted to make it something that wasn't too abrasive, but like also positive. But yeah, that is something that we will want to do in the future.
I have to ask this question.
Oh, sorry, Roxy,
go ahead, Guy.
No, you go.
Okay, thank you. So I have to ask about this because height is a thing for me. I'm only 4'10". Usually doctor or whatever, the framework, the model are off, totally off, right? So when you do this application, when you have this application, can we load our own frame and tell the computer, here's the frame when I'm in good posture?
I think I can handle this. I'm
Yeah.
4'11", actually. And so don't worry, I feel your pain. Right now, we trained our data on our teammates and willing family members that are around. So right now, it's not customizable to the users. It's based on our training data right now. But that is something we've highly considered implementing. Similar to when you're calibrating your phone for like Face ID, how like you give it different angles. We were wanting to implement something similar to that, where the users can kind of input their own data and help the training process of their neural network. That is something we definitely considered. But I feel you 4 feet gain, yeah.
Just curious how you guys see implementing this. Is it something that is downloadable, or is it you're working with Blue Jeans and kind of through an API or something of that nature?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing, the nicest thing would probably be using an API. That way you can include it in like a Chrome extension, or for example, your Zoom meetings, it could be a Zoom app, and it could be like highlighting, or giving you a suggestion like, hey, in this meeting you've been slouching, like it'll give you like something to you directly. It won't tell everyone, hey, by the way, guys, slouching. So yeah, or even like Google Meet, for example. Yeah, like all these different platforms. I think having a nice API out of it just really takes an image, and then whether or not it give you like a probability on how much, on whether or not you're slouching. So yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Slouch AI. And for our last project in the Blueprint track, we have Federated Learning as a Service.
Hey, as somewhat experienced in machine learning, one of the challenges I frequently ran into was availability of data. More specifically, access to data to train my models. At a time where data doubles every 2 years, access to training machine learning models with reliable data sets should only increase and not stay constant. However, there are real reasons as to why a lot of data isn't being open sourced to the public. For one, a lot of individual consumer data is restricted by data preserving rules such as GDPR, California privacy law, COPPA, and also various forms of health industry privacy laws such as HIPAA. This makes access to these data sets very difficult and often infeasible for individuals without license. This is where our approach to help fix this huge problem comes into play, as it has a ton of potential in highly regulated industries such as security, where already over 63% of companies use AI, healthcare, worth over $8 trillion, and insurance industry with over $40 billion of fraudulent claims.
Yeah, so let's just jump into kind of our workflow. So we built this distributed, federated learning model, where you first start with an initial model that kind of all these organizations or institutions might agree upon. And it can be kind of in PyTorch or TensorFlow, and then it sends it out to each of the institutions that have their own private data. And it trains it within this, each of these institutions. And so, like, let's say these 4 institutions have 4 unique models trained on their private data. It sends back these models, just their parameters, so that's the weights and biases, without actually touching the data. And so this is expanding effectively the amount of data that you can use that is currently locked behind private and sensitive features. And we use Azure Blob Storage and Google Cloud Storage for this communication of files. And so then once we have kind of those weights and biases of the models back into the centralized server, we federated, like averaged it. We use federated averaging to consolidate the models and then send back the new model to go and iterate and train again upon the private data from a certain location.
Alex, thanks so much for explaining federated learning and your project to us. We're now going to move into questions because we've reached time.
Yeah, can I touch upon this? So this was actually one of the data sets that we used, which was for whether someone would be granted a loan. And we tested it with 4 federated nodes. And we found that like the federated model performed better than when each of the nodes performed by itself. And with that, you can also see like there's a use case where there's like maybe one institution maybe unfairly treating some of its like constituents for loans. And by using this model, it would be able to train and kind of collaborate and fix and correct for those errors.
All right, judges, do you have any questions?
Just curious how you see the data. How do you kind of who uses the data? Is it the company or some oversight organization? What's kind of the best use case?
So really, essentially, Yeah, so like the goal is that all company would have their own data stored within themselves, and the data is not shared across any company. The only thing that's really occurring is we're giving them the initial template to train their model on, and the only thing that's really shared is the final parameters that they send out to. And all of this is encrypted, so no company has access to this, and that really guarantees that all your data is secure across all different companies. So me as one company has no idea what data you have, but we're still training on the same set of parameters. So in that case, we can sort of consolidate with these tiny pockets of data. And one really use case, which is being used by one of what we're doing is with COVID CT scans. And you can think of it as like each individual hospital having data about each patient. And since hospitals don't want to share data between multiple hospitals, what they would do is just train their models on their own hospitals using our parameters. And after they're done training, just send it over to the cloud, and we would just run the model and send it back to each individual hospital. And using this approach, you can actually build a very good classifier, as you can see in the next slide, where we have proven that our technique and our solution actually is far better, almost twice as better as the traditional technique where you have little data. So we really split the problem of not having enough data and actually use that as a force to really propel by really converging our model, really improving the accuracy. And that can really help with finance, which is strictly regulated, and other industries such as healthcare.
I was curious how you guys actually authenticate and integrate with the hospital, especially in the very highly regulated industry. Do you use APIs, or what kind of thing are you use? Data flow? What technology behind you guys using?
So right now, what we're doing is each company, or like in the case of hospitals, what you're doing is you're assuming like all hospitals are connected through some form of handshake agreement or some licensing or whatever. And all they're doing is just locating their initial data on their own cloud services, be it through Azure or through Google Cloud. And we know that they're very secure rather than us building our own native servers. And all we're doing is just giving them the initial weight files. And that's just a bunch of random parameters. And they're just training from our initial weight files on their own model. And they're just uploading the output from their own trained model back to us. And we're just going to compute this thing called a federated average. And we're also using this term called differential privacy, where we sort of anomalize the data far more, so it's very encrypted. And we just keep doing this until the performance in classifying if a patient has COVID or not, or something more severe, becomes really hard to detect from a doctor or a human's perspective. And using this technology, we can sort of empower and leverage AI for all. So you don't have to be Capital One or Bank of America to really have access to all this data. You can also be a small business and still have leverage to all this kind of data, even though it's not really available to you. So that's something that is super powerful, especially in the ML industry.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, awesome. And that wraps up our blueprint track. So now we are moving on to our newsprint track, which is our last track of the day. Newsprint track focusing on communication and culture. Our three projects presented will be Angles, Uninterrupted, and Imposter. So Angles, feel free to kick it off.
All right, I'll share my screen. All right, can y'all see that?
Yep.
Take it away, Cindy.
All right, so welcome to our project Angles, a new perspective of your daily news feed.
So nowadays, we've become stuck in news echo chambers. And in these echo chambers, we just tend to reaffirm our own opinions. We never challenge our beliefs, and we rarely see perspectives that differ from our own.
This separation does really little to help the massive polarization and tension that plagues our politics today. Enter Angles. Angles seeks to proactively challenge its users to expand their perspectives, drawing from a wide variety of news sources they wouldn't have visited otherwise.
So we built a Chrome extension called Angles, which first determines if a user is viewing
a news site? And if so, it analyzes the web page's bias using NLP as well as data from pre-generated data sets. Angles analyzes this data and then accumulates a list of articles that are on the same subject of the current article, but with contrasting ideological leanings.
Ian, you're muted.
These suggested articles are then presented unobtrusively to the user through a browser modal, which can be expanded or tucked away, as shown on the screen.
So for how we built it, we queried and synthesized 2 different data sets from a news organization called AllSides to determine the bias of the user's current news source and also sample alternative news sources with contrasting political leanings.
Then we use an extractor API to scrape the full text of the news article from the web page.
The extracted text is sent to a Google Cloud function, which utilizes Google Cloud's natural language tools to find keywords in the article.
We then queried the news API with the scraped keywords to find related articles from the alternative news sources.
Then the top results are then displayed as hyperlinks with corresponding icons in the Flare browser modal, and each icon is also displayed with a bias bar, which informs the user of the political leaning of the source which the article is from.
So what's next for Angles? We want to integrate with enterprise APIs to get better results for our queries and higher rate limits. We'd like a performance overhaul to reduce the delay between when the articles show up and when you open the extension. And we would also like more accurate content analysis and keyword extraction to get more relevant articles.
So here's a quick video demonstration of Angles at work.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to have enough time to do a video demonstration, but also if you're interested in seeing their video, you can see it on their dev post, which is public. But yeah, thanks so much for taking the time to talk about your project, and now we're opening it up to judges for questions.
So will it have the ability to source also what people are getting in their social media feeds, like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook?
So as of right now, Angles focus is mainly on news sites, and it's because it's an extension, it can package onto whatever news sites you already use. So while it does not have the ability to deploy onto social media platforms, it still follows you to whatever news sites you like and kind of proactively challenges you to find new sources and new places to get that information.
I have a question that related to Google Chrome, because I love it. It's in Google Chrome's extension. The Cognito mode, can we actually use that, and whether or not it's handle world news? Because sometimes you have to correlate news that's translated versus actual news.
Sorry, can you repeat that question? I think you broke up a little bit.
Oh, I was wondering if you guys actually consider the Cognito mode for the Google Chrome as well as multilinguals.
So the current version of Angles does not do any translation, mainly because the API keys we have for the different services we use don't support that kind of support. And as far as incognito mode, because we don't actually track anything about the user, everything we do is just about the current information they're viewing. Although we haven't tested it, I don't see any reason why it shouldn't work on incognito mode, since we don't really track the user at all anyway.
Yeah, and in the future, I think it would be good to integrate this with like a translation feature so that people who don't speak English could also use this and could also like browse articles with contrasting viewpoints.
I think that would even have the better effect of expanding the available information so that you can get more perspectives, not just from different news publishers, but from also different cultures and languages.
Thank you.
And I'm good on questions. Very, very clear what you guys do. So really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, Angles. Next up, we've Uninterrupted.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, we can see it, Wes.
Awesome.
All right. Hi, everyone. If you've been keeping up with politics at all, like I've been, you knew how much of a mess the presidential debate was a few months ago. I think a lot of us watching wish that we could turn off Trump or Biden's mic and be the moderator ourselves. With our Alexa app, Uninterrupted, you get to be the moderator of your very own debate. So you tell Alexa a debate topic and how long you want the responses to be, and Alexa will come back to you with summaries of the candidates' stances on that topic, pulled directly from their campaign websites or public statements.
So Uninterrupted uses voice flow to be able to simulate the actual conversation that you'll be having with the Alexa. The real backbone of Uninterrupted is a custom-built Python API that's connected to a Google Cloud SQL database. And then the last aspect of Uninterrupted is a Meeting Cloud API that we're using to scrape the candidates' websites and summarize the information to be passed through your Alexa.
I'm gonna walk through a quick example of how our Alexa app works. And since my computer does not pick up audio too well, we're gonna simulate the conversation using text input instead.
Welcome to Uninterrupted, where you become the moderator. How long should each candidate's responses be? You can respond with short, medium, or long. Great, we will have a short debate. What issue would you like the candidates to debate? You can say things like COVID-19, immigration, or climate change. Great, the topic will be law enforcement. The order in which the candidates speak will be randomized. This is President Trump's position on law enforcement.
President Donald J. Trump and the Department of Justice are working with local law enforcement to protect American communities. The Department of Justice announced more than $98 million in grant funding through the Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services COPS hiring program to allow 802 additional full-time law enforcement officers.
This is Vice President Biden's position on law enforcement.
We have never lived up to it and we haven't always gotten it right, but we've never stopped trying. This is especially true when it comes to our criminal justice system. Today, too many people are incarcerated in the United States, and too many of them are black and brown.
Would you like to hear more about different issues?
So hopefully our product gives the American people the opportunity to relive the debate and get the facts uninterrupted. Thank you, and we're ready for any questions the judges may have.
I love the approach. And you mentioned facts, and I can imagine that a lot of websites are propaganda in nature. I'm just wondering how you could kind of think to, I guess, collect other data that would support or refute some of the positions in the websites. Have you guys thought about that?
Yeah, for sure. So when we designed the product, we had a vision of delivering very candid views directly from the source, from the candidates themselves, and it's clearly posted. And we have the source. It's also on our SQL database. And I think we established a strong foundation and infrastructure to support a tool such as verification or translation, as was mentioned in the last project. So we have a strong foundation that would be able to support these future developments in terms of additional tools.
Perfect, thank you.
Do you have any plan to use the person voice? Just curious.
Yeah. So currently we were selecting from a list of default Alexa voices that were provided to us. But yeah, in the future we definitely want to be able to get the full experience, right? Have them go at it. I think they have strong personalities and iconic voices, so I think that would definitely add to the experience.
Curious what you thought about future use of it. So in a non-election year, other thoughts of how you can use the tool?
Yeah, for sure. So I think my group and I are very interested in politics, and the recent developments in our climate has been very discouraging and very polarizing. So I think this tool will introduce and bring back the conversation, and we can also use it to address some of the other more local elections or just political debate in general, right? We can have prominent voices from both sides, very intellectually well-spoken voices come together and voice their views so that friends gathered around can really think about the views of intellectual thinkers today without being at each other's throats.
If I could add something on to that, right now we only have Trump and Biden, but the way we've built our backend, I think it will be relatively easy just with a couple URLs to include other candidates. And so this big image we have is if I want to create a debate of my own, if I wanted to put 3 people on the stage that wouldn't usually be on the stage, or 3 local people that usually wouldn't be on your television, that I could select those people to be in the debate and hear those responses. So hopefully that would apply more to a local election as opposed to this big televised presidential election.
Thank you.
Thank you, I can talk. Thank you, Uninterrupted. All right, so we got one more project for today, and it's Imposter. So feel free to wrap it up for us.
All right. I think, yeah, Jackie's going to do the demo, but I will give a little bit of an intro to our project. So we chose to do the Newsprint track because for us, productivity and connection has been really hard with remote working and learning, and kind of just not being able to be with friends, coworkers, and keeping each other on track and on task. Our web app is a productivity timer with a fun twist. The inspiration came from combining the massively popular Among Us game, I'm sure like everyone has heard of it, and the Pomodoro technique, which is working for 25 minutes and 5-minute break. We first prototyped our design on Figma and then coded everything in React. We made the login super easy and intuitive so you and your friends can get started working right away. We also implemented a custom character selection to give users a little bit of flair and personalization. So Jackie's going to do a demo for us.
Hello. Yeah, just quickly jump into the demo. You can set your name here and then choose whatever color you want, just like the game. You pick gray for now, and then you can see that I've joined a room. I'm going to wait a few seconds while the rest of my team quickly joins. You can see that you can send messages to your team. And yeah, so you'll see the very familiar like Pomodoro interface here. You'll be able to set a work timer. So during this work timer, if anyone goes on any kind of distracting site, it'll be able to call, for example, like it'll be able to call emergency meeting just like that. It'll kind of just alert everyone in the room that you've been off task and everyone can publicly shame you for what you've done. Yeah, so that's pretty much our main application. I'll jump into a little bit of about how the technology works. Our hack consists of 4 main separate components, the first of which is our backend. And pretty much we have a CI/CD workflow that deploys a Node.js Express app with WebSocket server to Heroku. And it's responsible for all the messaging and the joining and leaving events. The second piece we have is our Firebase database, which is responsible for syncing the timers and setting the break and work periods. Our third piece is our web application, which is our React application, which is deployed via CI/CD to Google Firebase. Last but not least, we have the actual extension itself, which listens for when you visit like a distracting site like Facebook and sends the information over to the web application. Pass it back to
So to kind of to wrap up, Imposter aims to create a productive and social environment for all of us working from home. It's like a space to challenge people to do work, but also incorporating a really fun way to get to give everyone kind of a good laugh and kind of like create a kind of community and a better way to communicate and keep each other on task. I guess questions now.
Are the sites that you can go to and can't go to, or is it a blacklist or is it a white list of sites?
It's a blacklist basis. So if you, for example, our default blacklist is like, for example, distracting sites like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. So if you try to visit those sites, then you'll get a notification that pops up.
Does it detect when someone, even if those sites aren't, you don't go on your computer, you still have access to do all that on your phone. So does it detect when there's no actual keystroke?
No, so our application detects when you visit a site via a Chrome extension. So it won't work if you go on Facebook on your phone. But again, this isn't, to force you to do work. It's just kind of like a fun way, to get a good laugh. Like, oh, I can't believe you went on Facebook. We're all supposed to be doing work together. And also the alarm kind of disrupts everybody else's work. So, kind of feel bad if you're off task and you're disrupting everybody else's work time.
Yeah, as the engineering manager of 120 plus engineers, I'm sure people love to join in, but on the other hand, from the business point of view, it could be an issue where everyone are head down trying to focus, right? And then we have the alarm. Is there any way to, what are other options do you have so that people can have fun but not interrupt the entire group?
So if you have the tab open, but kind of you're not on it, you could mute the site, and that's really easy to do with, just like Jackie's showing here. And then we could also just, add a mute feature to our site. That would be quite easy to implement as well. But otherwise it's not disruptive, and you can also just go back and scroll through the chat log to see kind of who was on what site, but not in real time.
Cool, thanks.
All right. Thank you so much to Imposter, and thank you to all our top track finalists that just presented. If everyone can give like a virtual round of applause for all your team members and all your teammates. We really enjoyed having you. And also shout out to everyone else who submitted a project too. We had like over 180 projects and only 9 of them are represented here. So really, really, really impressed to see all the hard work you guys have put in. What we're going to be up to next is our final judges are now going to take some time to deliberate and decide a top track winner for the Canvas, Blueprint, and Newsprint tracks. And while we're doing that, we are going to be announcing our sponsored prize winners and our low code and first time hacker winners. So if you give me one moment to open up the breakout rooms for our final judges, they'll be going off to deliberate. And now it's time to talk about our sponsored prize winners. Not all our sponsored prizes will be announced right here and now. Some of our prizes will be announced in Slack afterwards too, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But we do have a couple sponsored prizes that are ready to go. First up, we have Bubble.
Yes, so the winner for the best web app using Bubble is Harmony Visualizer, which provides harmonic options for a selected note in the selected key. We really loved your project. Congrats.
Thank you. Next up, we have Disney.
Now, unfortunately, Disney couldn't be here today to present this prize, but they were so impressed with the combination of collaboration and storytelling, they're actually going to award 2 different prizes today to 2 different teams. The winners are Imposter, which you just saw present, as well as Team Class Vroom, which created a VR engaging environment for classroom settings to help increase classroom engagement. We'll be in touch later after the event to coordinate you with Disney and find out what your prize is.
Thank you, Justin. Next up, we have Google Cloud.
Sweet. Awesome. Hey, everyone. Can you guys see me? Hear me? Am I good? Hey, awesome. I just want to say congratulations to everybody who, participated in DubHacks. It's always a great time to partner up with you guys and be here as mentors and also just, see all the amazing projects that we review. So for our 2 category challenges, we'll go off with the best use of Google Cloud. So for second place, the winning team is, sorry. Oh, wait, do I have my slides here or no? Oh, my apologies on that. Give me 2 seconds. Let me pull up our winners. My apologies, little technical difficulties right here. Sweet, okay, here we go. My Wi-Fi does not like me today. It is experiencing 2020 like everybody else. All right, awesome. So for the second place winners for the best use of Google Cloud, all the members of the winning team will receive a Google Nest Mini, all sent by MLH. So please reach out to Neil from MLH and he'll get your guys' contact information and we can ship those out to you in the upcoming week. So for second place, the winning team is Trick. Congratulations. We really enjoyed reviewing your guys' project. So congratulations to all those team members. Moving on to our first place prize for the best use of Google Cloud. Each team member will receive a Patagonia backpack, a trophy, and also as well a Google Cloud water bottle. So please send me a DM with all of your guys' information and I will get those prizes shipped out this week. And so the winning team for the best use of Google Cloud's API challenge is Face Me. Congratulations on that one. We really enjoyed reviewing your guys' project and it was brilliant. And honestly, my grandparents are gonna have to use this for sure when I FaceTime them, most definitely, because their camera is literally this way and I'm just like, Grandpa, Grandma. So moving on to our second category challenge, COVID-19 Hackathon Fund finalist teams. So with this, each of the awarded teams will be a finalist to apply for our COVID Hackathon Fund, winning being awarded the possibility of getting $5,000 and also in Google Cloud credits, and the possibility of getting Google developers to help assist you and mentor you throughout the completion of your guys' project after DubHacks. So for the finalist teams, we have VI Risk, Local Giver, Ball Buddy, Corona, AV, Humble, and then face me once again. So congratulations to all these winning teams. You guys are finalists, and please shoot me a DM in Slack, and I will be sending you guys out the application and the form to apply for the to become team members into our finalist COVID Hackathon Fund. And once again, thank you so much to those other projects that were applied to both our best use of Google Cloud and the COVID Hackathon. You guys were all brilliant, and so literally hats off to you guys. Thank you so much, DubHacks.
Thanks, Brian. All right, next up we have Barn to Door.
All right, so unfortunately Barn to Door could not be here today, but the way that they chose their prize was by looking for projects that that either positively impact the success of small businesses or by positively impacting the local food system. Their prize includes a Barn to Door swag kit for every team member of the winning team, which includes hats, camper mugs, and stickers, and the winner is Masset. And Barn to Door will be in touch later to give out the prizes.
Thank you, Amelia. Next up, we have Microsoft.
Yeah, so the winner for Microsoft's best use of Azure for social good is Media Tech Scribe. Congrats. They're a technology that processes any URL input by the user into a web page with image and graphic descriptions. Congrats again.
Thank you, Trinity. All right, so that wraps up our first batch of sponsor prizes. Again, remember, we'll be dropping our other sponsor prizes later in Slack and reaching out. Next up, we have a set of prizes hosted by MLH.
You just went and gave away one of the winners, Taylor. Come on. Hey, hackers. We hope you had an amazing time this weekend. Neil, have you enjoyed seeing all of the projects?
Oh, my goodness. I saw some amazing projects. Just to give you guys some stats, we went through about 185 projects, and man, I was blown away. What did you think, Jack?
I think you had some really incredible ones. I really enjoyed judging this weekend. You know, like the sheer number of projects is amazing, but also the actual quality of the projects that were submitted blew us all away. We have 2 prize categories running this weekend, as well as, of course, best use of Google Cloud you've already heard about. We've got best domain registered with domain.com, and we've also got best Digikey hardware hack. And I'm really excited to announce these, aren't you, Neil?
But yes, Jack, but I think you're missing one more. We also have the Draw an OtCat, Win an OtCat contest as well.
You are right.
Forget that one.
That's what we're all here for, really, isn't it?
Right.
Well, let's kind of kick it off then. So, you know, we got best domain registered with domain.com. And Neil, did you like the domain we chose as our winner?
I couldn't have chose a better winner. And I think we got a sneak peek of it. So let's go ahead and present the winner.
Yeah, congratulations to When Zoom Works. Empower her with their domain, make it an empowering .space. Super cool domain hack, super cool domain. And I really, really, really like it. Nick, not Nick, your name's Neil. Neil, what else do we have coming up?
Come on now, we've been working for 24 hours. Let's go. So next one, we have the best Digikey hardware hack. And this one by far was very, very cool. I love it. Let's go ahead and present the name. Speech Lens. If you didn't get a chance to look at that dev post, highly recommend it. The hacker went ahead and used hardware glasses, which you can look at any piece of text and it'll go ahead and say the text out loud. Pretty neat stuff to combine both hardware and software. So definitely an amazing project.
We saw so many awesome hardware hacks this weekend. If you are building a hardware hack or you're looking to get some hardware to use at your further hacks, definitely check out Digikey for a great online store, and also hackp.ac/Digikey has everything you need to build a successful hardware hack. Next up is the winner of My Octocat. And Neil, this is the one I've been waiting for. I'm so excited. Before I reveal the winner, you chose this winner. So why did you choose them?
I just thought this one had, I'm not an artist myself, but you know, when I look at art, I want something that moves me to tears. And I think this one just emulated that the most. So let's go ahead and give it up to Pronjo15859830. Okay, I don't think the photo updated exactly. So I don't know if we can refresh the page, the slide real quick, just to make sure it's exactly hers. But her what do you call that? My Octocat drawing was by far the best. So yeah, give it up to her. This isn't her drawing, but feel free to check her Twitter to take a look at her drawing.
Yeah, it was a great Octocat, kind of in the rain, having rain on it, and like with a little umbrella over the head. I loved it. It was super awesome. That's it for all of our prizes this weekend. But if you've enjoyed hacking here at DubHacks, don't worry, we have more. Coming up in the week ahead, we have Local Hack Day Learn is a great chance to attend a ton of workshops. If you want to learn more, you can check localhackday.mlh.io to go sign up, go see what we've got coming up, and just get involved. Neil, are you going to be attending any of those workshops?
100%. You can see me there. What about you?
I'm definitely going to be attending some, but even more so, you're going to see me at a ton more hackathons, and you can find a full list of hackathons that MLH is supporting over at mlh.io/events. So definitely check it out. We've got a huge season up ahead, and it's all digital, so no matter where in the world you are, you can come and participate with us there. Neil,
let's go.
Any closing words?
I think you summed it up really well. Yep, definitely check and take a look at MLH's hackathons. But yeah, let's not take up any more time. Let's hand it back to Taylor to give up the next prizes.
Thank you, Neil and Jacqueline. We always really love having MLH's energy here. All right, so that wraps up kind of our sponsor winners. Next, we're going to be moving on to our low-code tracks and our best first-time hacks. I'm going to pass it off to Crystal.
Hello, everyone. This time I'm not cutting off people. I have actually the fun job of announcing the winners for our low code and our first timers. I think this is actually a really exciting part of DubHacks because we really pride ourselves on being accessible to all levels. And we were so impressed to see the different types of projects and like the really quality of projects that you guys were able to make in like such a short amount of time. We really hope that you guys are able to join us for DubHacks 2021. More details later. But we're just so super proud of you guys. So for the first one, okay, so we're, okay, sorry, thank you. I promise we're good at technology. Anyway, so for the best first time hack, we're excited to announce FaceMe as the winner. So their tagline is making connecting with loved ones easier by improving video call accessibility. So what FaceMe does is it aims to make it easier to stay in touch by making video calling more accessible with clear visual indications and audio cues to help our users connect with their loved ones. We thought that this was a really great app, especially during COVID times, super relevant. So congratulations, and I'm proud of you guys for doing this on your first hackathon. Okay. Next one. So for the low-code canvas track winners, Scan It was another one of our winners. So these low-code ones are going to be in no particular order, but like all of them are winners. So for Scan It, it's an interactive Zoom app that helps kids engage in online classes. So I'm sure that all of us know that it's like really hard to stay engaged with Zoom, and this one targeted like more younger elementary school kids. So it's an interactive Zoom app for students that allow them to scan their doodles and drawings and post it on a live board for their classroom to share and interact with. We thought this was a super cute app, and we really hope you guys continue with it. Next winner was Harmony Visualizer. So Harmony Visualizer is an interactive audiovisual platform that gives harmonic options for a selected note. So I'm not super good at music, so I'll just read their exact description. We wanted to develop an effective virtual music education resource as there's a lack of online resources that are user-friendly and effective. It's important for beginner musicians to have accessible and multimodal ways to learn music theory concepts, and having a combination of oral and visual feedback helps users solidify these musical connections beyond the classroom. We also created this with the hope of having it be a useful quick reference for more experienced musicians. So I guess I could use this app because I don't know how to read sheet music, so thank you guys. And then for our last winner for the low-code track is Easy Eats. So it's a one-stop shop for enhancing your cooking experience. So their inspiration for this is to simplify the lives of college students and remove the hassle of keeping track of grocery lists and figuring out what meals could be made with existing grocery items. By using this app, the user can ensure all their ingredients are accounted for and have the opportunity to try new recipes while working with what they have at hand. Also agree, as a college student, this is super useful. My recipes and my knowledge are super limited, so really hope you guys get this on the App Store. But congratulations to all of you guys, and we're just like super proud of everyone who submitted a project. I know it's hard during quarantine, but we're proud of you for pushing yourself to be productive this weekend. Okay, now I'll hand it back to Taylor.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Congratulations to all the sponsor winners and the low code and the first time winners. We're really, really excited to have your project with us. So now our final judges are still working on their last deliberation for their last track. Of course, all the projects presented were really, really impressive, and so they're having a hard time deciding. So for those of you watching on the YouTube live stream, we're going to be pulling off the live stream for just 5 minutes. We're just going to hang tight for 5 minutes, and then we'll be back to announce the DubHacks track winners, which I think you are all super excited for. So everyone, we will see you in 5. Nick. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Thanks for taking the short break with us. We're super excited to share with you our final track winners. The final judges are going to be presenting their favorite projects from each of our tracks, the Canvas track, the Blueprint track, and the Newsprint track. So we're going to kick it off with the Canvas track winner.
Hello, everyone. First, we want to say, everybody, you all rocked it. You all did an amazing job, and it was hard to go back and forth because there were so many amazing qualities. But shall I do like a drum roll? Can you hear my drum roll? The winner of the Canvas track is Paintin. We really thought that there were additional use cases that we could go into what future iterations could be. We really like, there were lots of considerations with regards to the timer and other aspects that shows that you put a lot of thought into the logistics and how it can work and how it could be integrated and how your users are really going to be able to work with the different aspects of what the tool is able to provide. So we were excited to say paint in. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Juana, and congratulations again to Paint In. All right, next up we have our Blueprint track winner.
So for the Blueprint track, we love all three projects. It's very address the current needs. Barrett Smile is great, taking care of the people. The Federated learning really addressed the issue that we have the data not shared across all organization and everything else. The winner is Slouch Ai. I didn't let you guys do in the drum roll just because it's actually closer to go to the market and you have competitor already and it's very complete demo. So we have, it's tough for us to choose, but that is the winner for today. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you, Roxy. Thank you, Slouch Ai. And finally, last but not least, we have our Newsprint track winner.
So perhaps the most topical of all these things, obviously, just being a few weeks from the election and kind of the news cycles and all the challenges that we're having working from home with COVID. I would say that it's very, very easy to see why you three proceeded to the finals. This is fantastic, and I think all three of the apps are things that the judges felt that we would use on a daily basis. So congratulations to you all again. That being said, and I'm going to go to the glasses for this one, as they say on Pardon the Interruption. The winner is Uninterrupted. And, congratulations to you guys. And I'll kind of applaud you first and then say, for us, it was, kind of the immediacy, obviously very, very recently highlighted problem, fantastic in the execution, the Alexa AI skill, I think, again, demonstrating that was fantastic as well. I also feel that it's extensible, as you guys suggested, to a lot of other problems, whether it's kind of a debate or kind of anything with opposing viewpoints. I thought that was fantastic. And personally, kind of having spent my past 6 years in virtual reality, I think there's an opportunity for simulation here that can make the mundane and routine and things that aren't fun to all but the kind of most involved members of society and in politics fun and interesting, right? So you could actually have this, the skills and actually put them into a simulation engine like Unreal or Unity and actually have kids understand and, again, apply different images and looks of this thing. So for those reasons, I think this is something I would love to see come to market because I think it's very much needed.
Thank you so much, Guy, and congratulations to Uninterrupted. Congrats to all three of the track winning projects. And I just want to give a big thank you to all three of our final judges, Guy, Juana, and Roxy. Thank you so much for being here and for giving all your really helpful advice and asking all these awesome questions. We really, really appreciate you. We're not quite done. We still have a couple more exciting things to announce. I'm going to pass it off to Trinity to talk about Pinnacle and wrap things up for us.
Cool. Thanks, Taylor. So we're going to be announcing, we'll reach out to the team, but as we announced at opening, there'll be one DubHacks team that gets selected to represent DubHacks at an Olympics of Hackathons at Pinnacle, and that will be happening in San Francisco in late 2021. So keep an eye out. And I'm going to close it off for us on behalf of our team. Thank you so much for everyone who is a part of DubHacks. I know we have a slide of our team here. Yes, this is all of us, but truly, I'm reminded of Michael's opening ceremony where he said, we can't wait for people to solve the issues that we care about. So genuinely, we hope that this weekend was an encouragement and also a resource for you to pursue that and take that to heart. Also, thank you to our sponsors, our mentors, judges. There were a lot of people that offered a lot of their time, energy to make this weekend happen. So please take your time to thank them in the Slack. And yeah, with that, we have one final announcement we want to make. I know we have a diverse range of ages and nationalities in our audience today, but please vote. Our presidential election is coming up. So if you have the privilege to, we have a responsibility to advocate for the issues that we were trying to solve this weekend. So please, we dropped resources on deadlines and et cetera in the Slack. So please make sure you are doing that if you can. And also please make sure to follow our socials. After this, we'll be prepping for DubHacks 2021. So we want to keep you updated and we'd love for you to join our communities online. And with that, thank you so much. That is it for closing ceremony. Again, thank you for joining us and for everyone that's tuning in, for everyone that's in the project. We hope to see you next year.
Go Husky. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you, everyone.